Asus make quite a few awesome motherboards, and I've got to say this fits into that category. This is the Maximus VIII formula. I'm going to be taking a look at it in all its RGB glory, including the Aura connector down the bottom with a couple of cable mods, RGB LED strips. So stick around for more info. Check out TechteamGB.co.uk for more awesome news, reviews and other stuff, including more information on this product and many more. Stick around for this awesome video. So to start off with the box, as you can see, it's fairly similar to most other kind of ROG boxes, with doing a good job of showing off all the features. Inside it, you'll get user guide, door hanger, I/O shield, quite a few SATA cables, and also the RGB kind of extender cable, which I'll talk about later. Now this board has some really kind of beefy, what they normally call thermal armor, otherwise known as some really cool plastic that doesn't do too much for temperatures but does do a lot for looks. It's also got the EK water block for the VRMs, and it's awesome looking. I actually have a very similar board, that last generation, and it works very well and is actually pretty good for overclocking, as it keeps the general board and obviously the power VRMs pretty cool too. In terms of the thermal armor, they've done a pretty good job of making things still accessible, including the CPU fan headers and start and reset buttons and a debug LED, as well as obviously the 4 DDR4 RAM DIMMs. Also, if you undo the screw on the bottom and kind of pull away at it, you can actually access the 32GB/s M.2 slot, which is actually pretty cleverly kind of hidden away. Other than that, as I said, you've got the RGB header on the sort of bottom left-hand side of the motherboard, which again, I'll show you it kind of in use later, but basically it's really cool as you're able to just connect RGB LED strips with the kind of included converter, which is quite cool. You've also got the ROG extension header, so if you want to connect the OC panel, you can. Another one of the awesome things about this is the U.2 connector, as well as the 2 SATA Express ports and the extra 4 SATA ports, as you can connect some pretty high-end stuff to that, and you do have a right-angled USB 3 front panel header. In terms of rear I/O, you've got 6 USB 2 ports, USB 3 ports, DisplayPort, HDMI, USB 3.1 and 3.1 Type-C, Gigabit LAN, and a nice set of both audio and Wi-Fi, as well as reset CMOS and general BIOS. That's pretty awesome. In terms of the actual kind of cables and RGB strips, I was using these cable mod magnetic ones, and they're pretty awesome. You can actually sync them to the board lighting as well, which is really nice, as you can have a very kind of encompassing effect inside, which is pretty cool. And basically all you have to do is connect them via a kind of Aura adapter, so that the kind of pins are in the right way. And other than that, it's all done in the Aura software, so you can set cycling or music effects. You can also calibrate the RGB strips so you get the right colors if the connectors aren't on the right way. And other than that, just to talk about the BIOS quickly, it's really awesome, very great for overclocking, and generally pretty user friendly. So this is a pretty awesome board. Now do bear in mind that I'm actually using the last generation of this in my personal system, the Coolmaster Terrible Paint Job mod project. And if you want to see that, feel free to check the link in the description down below, as I'll leave one down there. But yeah, other than that, this is, as I said, just a really nice board. It definitely suits to being shown off and kind of in a stylized build, especially if you're going for RGB LEDs around your case as well. This definitely fits that kind of purpose. It's definitely on the more high-end tier, and it's where I have and generally would go if I was kind of recommending a high-end, sexy looking motherboard with as many features as you can possibly imagine. Obviously the U.2 and M.2 connectors are really nice if you're looking for some high-end SSD-ness. The rear I/O is actually pretty cool too, with obviously Type-C, and actually I was quite interested by this. How many of you guys use Wi-Fi on a daily or kind of only basis? A lot of motherboard manufacturers put Wi-Fi on the rear I/O, and while I think is a really nice thing, I've had it come up in sort of comments occasionally, so I'm interested to know how many of you guys use Wi-Fi on a daily or regular basis. Leave that in the comments down below, I'm pretty interested. But yeah, anyway, so in terms of kind of pros and cons, I guess, it's a really stylish, very sexy and great connectivity based motherboard, and the only real con that I can see for it is that it's not as accessible as I would personally like, as it is a high-end motherboard and therefore it is relatively expensive in comparison to other motherboards in the Z170 category. But in terms of things like overclocking features, it's great. It's very easy to use, and it comes with a lot of extra settings that you may not necessarily see with a lot of other kind of boards and different specs. Obviously the water block for the VRMs is really nice and would help towards overclocking, pretty cool too. So yeah, it's just a very stylish, very functional, very feature-rich motherboard, and I have to say I'm pretty impressed. In terms of scoring, I'm going to go for a 4 for 5 for money because it's quite expensive, but you do get quite a lot for it. In terms of performance and functionality and style and, well, and TechteamGB score, as you can see from over here, I'm going to give it a 5 for all of those because it's very stylish, it's very feature-rich, and it's just generally an awesome board, and I do quite love it. Other than that, in terms of awards, I think I'm going to go for a gold award here because it really is pretty fantastic, and I definitely can recommend this pretty highly. So there you go, there's your thoughts on this. So other than that, if you've got any questions or any thoughts or anything you don't or don't like about the board, let me know in the comments down below, as I'd be interested to have a chat with you about that. And yeah, other than that, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please, before you disappear, it'd be really awesome if you're picking up this or really anything else, doesn't have to be tech. If you're picking up anything from Amazon, it'd be really cool if you use my Amazon affiliate links, just so that I can literally keep the lights and the house and the PC and the camera all on and here and available to me. It genuinely is helping me pay rent, so if you can do that, that would be really, really awesome. Another way you can help is actually by checking out the Vessel link down below. My videos are out 7 days earlier on Vessel, and while I understand that, you know, people can't necessarily either afford it or whatever, it's I think $2 or $3 a month, and there's now a $19 per year plan, so that's a lot cheaper than a lot of other things. So while you are technically paying for free content, you're paying for it early. So if you don't want to check that out, feel free to check that out there's a link down below. I'll shut up. But yeah, other than that, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe, like, dislike, and comment and all that jazz, and we'll see you all in the next video.